is going on, everyone? So you guys know I'm a huge Oscars fan. I love the Oscars so much. I look forward to watching it every single year. And you guys also know I love great movies. That's why I like the Oscars so much, because so many great movies get nominated every single year. And usually in the fall season, I take a look and try to figure out which movies are going to be those Oscar movies that get nominated. So in this video, I'm actually going to be talking about the potential 2018 Oscar movies. There's a lot of really big potential Oscar movies coming out this fall as well as the early winter, and I did my best to pick and choose the movies that I think might just be nominated for Best Picture in 2018. This was so difficult to do because it's really early still. We have no idea what movies are even going to be nominated, but I just did my best. There's also plenty of small ones out there that have already been shown at film festivals, so there were so many movies to choose from, but I did my very best. And I also did my research to see what movies are being talked about right now to be nominated for Best Picture in 2018, so I had a little bit of help there. This video is overdue by 4 or 5 days, so without further ado, let's get started right away. The first one that I came up with was the movie Mother. It is coming out this upcoming September, and it stars Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem. It looks like a thriller. There's already a trailer out there. I don't really know what this movie is exactly about. The trailer was very vague, but I'm hoping this is a terrific thriller, and I think it's some home invasion movie. I'm not quite sure, but I do think this has a lot of potential. Obviously, two great actors in front of the camera starring in this movie. You never really know with movies like this, especially when their trailers are just like that. But who knows, maybe this movie won't exactly be nominated for Oscars, but it still could be a very enjoyable, fun thriller. Suburbicon is Matt Damon's newest movie, and by looking at the trailer, it seems like Matt Damon's wife is killed, so then he goes on a killing spree pretty much, and the whole movie is just about Matt Damon killing people. It's directed by George Clooney. It looks like a comedy. I don't really know. This movie doesn't really seem like my cup of tea. I feel like a lot of people are going to find it hilarious, but I don't think Matt Damon's funny at all, and George Clooney as a director, he's good. At least from looking at the trailer, the town in this movie looks like something out of Edward Scissorhands. I have a feeling this movie's going to miss the cut and being nominated for an Oscar. I feel like there would be a couple smaller movies that I missed in this list that will be nominated over this one, but I still feel like this will be a very popular movie coming up this fall. Battle of the Sexes comes out this upcoming September. It stars Emma Stone and Steve Carell. They play two tennis players. And it's about Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs and when those two clashed on the tennis court way back in the day, and therefore it was named the Battle of the Sexes. This very well could be a great movie. Emma Stone is just coming off last year's Oscars with a win, and Steve Carell, you know this guy, he's very consistent, and when he has to play a serious role, he does it very well. I have a lot of hope in the Battle of the Sexes. Hopefully I can see it as soon as it comes out. Did you think you had enough of Matt Damon? Downsizing is a movie starring Matt Damon where he thinks that life would be better if he shrunk himself. Honestly, I don't really know how this movie could be nominated for an Oscar, but it's been given plenty of buzz prior to its release. Matt Damon, I don't know where this guy is coming from. I don't even like Matt Damon that much. I do have a feeling he will get nominated for Best Actor. I think that's almost a guarantee, especially with him being in two movies, including Suburbicon. I don't really think this movie will be that great. I think it'll be weird. I think it's also going to try to be very funny, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not going to laugh because, once again, it's Matt Damon, and Matt Damon's not funny. But this movie has an interesting plot. I want to see how it turns out. It definitely sounds interesting with a man making himself small. Here is a classic Oscar bait movie, Darkest Hour, starring Gary Oldman. It's about Winston Churchill and the whole thing that went on with him during World War II. Really, I'm not a big fan of historical movies at this point. I'm actually getting kind of tired. I feel like a lot of them have the same exact plot, but looking at this movie and Gary Oldman playing Winston Churchill, I absolutely believe he'll be nominated for Best Actor. It does not even look like Gary Oldman. I already talked about Steve Carell, and he was nominated back in the 2015 Oscars in the movie Foxcatcher, and I greatly believe it was because of the makeup he had and did not look anything like Steve Carell. So therefore, I believe Gary Oldman will get nominated for this role because, Literally, it looks nothing like him. He looks just like Winston Churchill, and you do not see anything of Gary Oldman in that character. But hey, I feel like this movie's gonna get a really high Rotten Tomatoes score and could potentially be the winner for Best Picture next year. Now the next few are the movies that I'm anticipating the most. The Papers is starring Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep and has to do with the publishing of the Pentagon Papers. Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep's characters get together and they go against the government in this movie. I think this movie could be like the next Bridge of Spies. It's directed by Steven Spielberg. I feel like there's a lot of hype surrounding this one. It could definitely be a very great movie. Honestly, whenever Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg team up, at the very least, I really enjoy the movie. So I do have a lot of hope in The Papers. Though the problem with this year, like I already said with Darkest Hour, is that all the movies I feel like are going to be historical films, and I'm not a huge fan of history movies. And the main reason why is because there's a lot of dialogue, and sometimes I just don't feel that invested. I get kind of bored and start looking at my phone. So that's the only problem I actually might have with The Papers, but I'm really hoping that it ends up being even better than Bridge of Spies. This movie already had its trailer released about a month ago, and it's The Greatest Showman starring Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron, and it's about the circus and the Ringling Brothers. La La Land really surprised me last year. This movie is a musical. I fully expect this movie to be just as good as La La Land. Hugh Jackman is one of my favorite actors working to this day. I think he will not only give a great performance as an actor, but as a singer in this movie. And the trailer looked really good. I'm hoping there's plenty of music in this movie for me to jam to and listen to the soundtrack, just like I did with La La Land. Ever since last December, I've actually thought this movie would get nominated for Best Picture the following year, and I still stand to that. I do believe this movie will get nominated for Best Picture and plenty of other Oscars. It's also quite obvious that people running these Oscars love musicals, so that's another reason why it will definitely get nominated for Best Picture. And finally, the last movie I'm going to be talking about that is upcoming. This is actually one of my most anticipated movies coming up this fall and early winter, and it is Phantom Thread, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson and starring Daniel Day-Lewis, and what is the first team up between those two since the movie There Will Be Blood, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. That is a fantastic movie, and I will definitely be reviewing that before I see this one. Phantom Thread will be about Daniel Day-Lewis's character, who plays a dressmaker who is designing clothes for the royal family back in the 1950s. And I can almost guarantee you that Daniel Day-Lewis will get nominated for Best Actor with his performance in Phantom Thread. Apparently this is his swan song. I hope not. He is a phenomenal actor. I love him in every single movie that he's in. There is not one flaw with his acting. He is so great, and I really hope he delivers in Phantom Thread. As of right now on IMDb, it still says this movie is untitled, but I've seen everywhere that it's called Phantom Thread. Maybe they'll change the name once again before the movie releases, but I do believe this movie has the potential to be just as good, if not better, than There Will Be Blood. And part of the reason why I thought There Will Be Blood was so good was because of Daniel Day-Lewis, so I have 100% belief that this movie could be just as great. I'm really just waiting for a trailer from Paul Thomas Anderson. Please release a trailer soon enough. I am so anticipating this movie. And obviously there's other very anticipated movies coming up this fall, such as Star Wars and Justice League. Plenty of great ones, and trust me, I will have a video for all those movies that I'm really anticipating within the next couple of weeks. And the movies that I already saw that I would say have a good chance of being nominated for Best Picture are Dunkirk and Detroit. For Dunkirk, a Christopher Nolan movie usually gets nominated for Best Picture, and Detroit, let's be honest, this movie is such Oscar bait, and I do think that Detroit will end up getting nominated for Best Picture as well as Dunkirk. So we have plenty of movies to look forward to this upcoming fall and early winter, and we will eventually see what movies get nominated for Best Picture at the 2018 Oscars. Hopefully all the movies I just named get nominated. I'm hoping they're all great. Let me know down below in the comment section what movies I might have missed, as well as what you think could potentially win Best Picture next year. Alright guys, so I have not seen The Dark Tower yet. I don't even know if I want to see that one. Apparently it's not that great. We'll see about that. But I definitely will have some more upcoming videos for you guys within the next couple of weeks, and I'm nearing my 100th video, so expect a pretty great video for that. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.